question tied into the spending problem. So on the commercial side, we've seen instances of headcount reduction, like Elon bought Twitter and cut staff by more than 50%. A number of successful commercial companies are cutting staff despite making money. And on the government side, we've seen presidential candidates, I'm thinking in particular Vivek Ramaswamy, proposing cutting headcount in the government. What do you think is the role of cutting headcount in the government going forward in fixing problems like government overreach and overspending? And if not cutting headcount, what other techniques?
All right. No, it's a great question. Let me tell you, I've owned a law firm for the last 15 years. I learned a valuable lesson as someone who cuts payroll checks. Sometimes the more people you have, the less work gets done. And so here's an example. The administration has allowed for 87,000 more IRS people. 87,000. When you ask them why, they say, we need to hold the billionaires accountable. Okay, there's 759 billionaires. So let's assign one to each billionaire. That gives us 759. Your whole job is to audit this one billionaire 24 days, 24/7 a year. Right? We don't need 87,000. Where do you think those 87,000 are going to come to? They're going to come to us. So do I think that Vivek, when he says he's going to immediately cut 75%, do I think that's the right approach? No, I think that's going from one extreme to the other. But should the federal government be the number one employer in the world? Every year they're more 25%, while all these are cutting. Yes. And so those are the hard decisions that need to be made, which is, can we be more efficient? I'm someone who believes that we need less government more than more government. And the lesser the government, the more the government stays out of your life, the better for us. So I certainly think we need to tackle that, but I wouldn't subscribe to, well, let's cut it by 50% or 75%. Unfortunately, we get people who just react and we go from one extreme to the other. Anyone else?
Yeah. So one of the things that you've done a lot on is within deregulation or decentralization of cryptocurrency and everything like that. That's sort of what you've done for standing up for the little guy. One of the new fronts, as you talked about, defense of the nation. What do you see where, like California and SB 1047, limiting the amount of GPUs and the compute power that the general public has access to, being labeled as a weapon, almost as bad as anything else, where they can't be trusted with owning their own data almost, but having access to AI and decentralized AI as well. Where do you see that might be a play in any part of your policies?
Well, what I would do is get people like you to come to educate me on those things. I couldn't tell you where I stand other than fundamentally, and I'm not going to try to BS an answer, is that the government needs to get out of the way and let free markets and let entrepreneurs, win. And that's what I do. I have one last guest. Layla Shea, can you come up here, please? All right. Can we get a round of applause? Woo! All right. Thank everyone for coming.
Thank you for coming. Vote for Johnny.
Thank you very much.